Today's ceremony is a continuation of the government's decision to honor and recognize our departed heroes and heroines of the liberation struggle, beyond having them lie at the National Heroes Shrine. It is encouraging to note that the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, ZDF, has taken the lead in imprinting the memories of our departed heroes into our living history through the renaming its various military cantonments after the country's leading icons and liberators. The renaming of our institutions after some of these leading military strategists per excellency and Pan-African revolutionaries will go a long way in preserving the country's history, which we must bequeath to future generations of our country. This process has without doubt set in motion our long-standing desire to rewrite our own history, which promotes our Zimbabwean values and celebrates our heroes. The renaming exercise is a demonstration of uttermost respect and a deep appreciation of the important roles played by our heroes who sacrificed their lives for the liberation of Zimbabwe from colonial bondage. Today's renaming ceremony is the third such event, following similar renaming ceremonies for the now Josiah Magama Tongogara Barracks, formerly King George VI Barracks, and Alfred Nikita Mangena Barracks, formerly Zimbabwe National Defense University, in December 2017 and March 18 respectively. The next to be renamed is the Flight Air Force Base after the late Comrade Jason Ziapapa Moyo. This will be followed by numerous renaming ceremonies for the race of the military cantonments by the Zimbabwe Defense Forces command element. Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, no serious reflections into our contemporary trajectories, history and politics can go without the mention of immense influence, charisma and contribution of the late Comrade Herbert Wiltshire Chitepo. He was arguably one of the towering figures in the history of Zimbabwe's liberation struggle. The man we honor today, Comrade Chitepo, was not only academically gifted and eminent, but was also selfless, patriotic, dedicated and dutiful to the execution of the War of Liberation. He was the first black citizen in Southern Rhodesia then to become a barrister. Furthermore, he became Tanganyika's, now Tanzania's first African Director of Public Prosecutions. The late Comrade Chitepo used his legal prowess to articulate legal issues, give legal advice, and defend other African nationalists in courts that were geared to frustrate and derail the execution of the liberation struggle at the time. Today's Zimbabwe is indeed a product of the ideals and imaginations liberators and Pan-Africans like the late Chitepo, who sought to advance justice, dreams and the hope associated with a free country with socialistic convictions characterized by democratic values and equitable distribution of resources such as land. I urge us all to learn from the life of the late Comrade Chitepo, who, in spite of being a lawyer by profession, chose to use his legal expertise to advance the cause for national liberation. Let us therefore, as Zimbabweans, in whatever profession or trade, use our skills, expertise, knowledge and abilities for the good of our nation, Zimbabwe. Let us ask ourselves what we can do for our country and how we can best serve our country and its people, and not what can our country do for me. The task to rebuild our country and propel national economic development and transformation is ours together. Comrade Chitepo was born at Bonda Mission on the 5th of June 1923 and attended St. David's Bonda Mission School and St. Augustine's Mission School in Penalonga for his primary and secondary education. He later moved to Adams College in Natal, South Africa, where he qualified as a teacher in 1945. It was there that he met his beautiful wife, Mrs. Victoria Mahamba Stole Chitepo, whom he married in 1955. After teaching for a year, Comrade Chitepo embarked on further studies and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts from Fort Hare University College in 1949. He qualified as a barrister at law in London. He was a research assistant at the School of Oriental and African Studies. Comrade Chitepo was the first African in Southern Rhodesia to qualify as a black barrister. In 1954, the late Chitepo became Rhodesia's first black lawyer, and upon his return to the then Rhodesia during the same year, 1954, he practiced as a lawyer and defended African nationalists such as the late Ndavaning Stole in court. In 1961, he served as the legal advisor to the late father of Zimbabwe, Comrade Joshua Nkomo, founder of the Zimbabwe African People's Union at the Southern Rhodesia Constitutional Conference in London. During the same year, he was also appointed to the Board of Governors of Bernard Muzeki College. While Comrade Chitepo was a key figure in the nationalist activities, the Southern Rhodesia government failed to get sufficient grounds to detain him, as he was never considered about his involvement in such activities, and by then he was a man of international repute. Our late hero, the late Comrade Chitepo, embarked on the fight against arrogance, political intolerance, and the gross oppression that was deeply rooted in the white minority rule in Rhodesia in 1954. In the process, Comrade Chitepo assumed a national character, which has been an inspiration to many and will continue to echo for years to come, because his intelligence, bravery, heroism, and selfless sacrifice, he stood by the nation through thick and thin in his quest for freedom for all Zimbabweans. What the Vice President mentioned is that when I arrived in Tanganyika in 1962-63, I think it was about March, in March 63, when I stayed at his house in Upanga. I don't know, Upanga. Upanga. Only that little girl I think they remember. They were too little to remember, I'm sure. I think they remember. They were very little girls. The late nationalist was unflinching and unwavering his dedication to see freedom for the people. Following the banning of ZAPU in May 1962, Comrade Chitepo was persuaded to go into voluntary exile to escape possible detention. He became Tanganyika's first African Director of Public Prosecutions and was elected chairman of ZANU at its first Congress in 1964 in Gweru. In January 1966, he resigned from his job in Tanganyika and moved to Zambia to concentrate on the armed struggle. Comrade Chitepo toured the world canvassing support for ZANU and for the enforcement of total economic sanctions against Rhodesia. His friendly disposition and warm personality made him very effective and earned ZANU international recognition and respect. Comrade Chitepo, together with the military supremo, Comrade Josiah Magama Tongara, planned successfully military guerrilla attacks and underground activities in Rhodesia. In 1972, he coordinated the war operations with Frelimo and opened up the northeastern region of Zimbabwe as a new and effective war zone. Comrade Chitepo died on 18th March 1975 in Lusaka, Zambia, in a car bomb explosion. He and Silas Shamiso, one of his bodyguards, were killed instantly, while Shadaki, his other bodyguard, was injured. The late Comrade Chitepo was indeed a visionary whose passion for freedom and self-determination made him a leading character in the liberation struggle. He displayed true resistance and resilience against numerous raids from Rhodesia. His consistent and persistent inspirational and daring initiative, combined with his undoubted willpower, weakened the superiority of the Rhodesian security forces and eventually destroyed the mighty sword of the enemy. Because of the principle that inspired him, memories of Comrade Chitepo should also inspire us all to remain rooted in the noble founding principles of our liberation struggle.